Picture this, you're in the mood for some anime, maybe the Blu-ray version of JJK episode 17, which you acquired through questionable means. You watch that fight and go, what's happening? The drawings are clearly distorted, the movement looks comedic at times, and the whole thing seems to be different. So is it bad? Well, no, even you are sure of that much. It looks too insane to be bad. Creative freedom, they call it. But then, what about shows like Demon Slayer or Chainsaw? They rarely/never look like that. Are they not creative? Well, let's try to define visual creativity in anime. Here's the short version. Visual creativity does not have a set definition. Strap in for the long version and subscribe while you're at it. Why not? Here's an unpopular opinion, a controversial statement if you will, a take that will be discussed and debated for decades to come. Creativity is a good thing. I know, shocking. Art, and by extension animation, is a form of expression. It goes hand in hand with the concept of creativity. Whether it's Mob Psycho or Attack on Titan or those trippy Masaki Yuasa works, animation is a versatile medium. Also, there is no such thing as good or bad creativity. Instead, there's creativity you like and creativity you don't. If you don't like the wobbly line art on Luffy or Pain's goofy facial expressions, that's fine. You are entitled to your own opinion. However, referring to it as bad is a stupid thing to do. The words different and bad aren't synonyms. Stuff can be different and good at the same time. Why would you want every show to look the same? Why would you want a scene to be a one-to-one recreation of the corresponding manga panel? And why would you want to strip away the concept of originality from an anime? I implore you to open up your mind, try and appreciate the medium for what it is, and the plethora of styles that dwell within it. To put it in layman's terms, the lines looking wobbly or the frame rate looking choppy can be intentional. But then, how would you know if a certain approach is a stylistic choice or a visual error? Or to be more specific, how would you differentiate between Naruto 167 and Black Clover 63? Well, just watch more stuff, I guess. There isn't a formula for something like that. The best method I can come up with is one where you check if a scene looks right, as ambiguous as that sounds. See if everything feels deliberate and whether or not it works in motion. For the love of God, stop pausing scenes that are clearly meant to be viewed in motion. Everything I said up until now has been said before. I'm not breaking any new ground here. Creativity good, that's the idea, and most sane people agree. However, like most things in the world, there are two ends of the spectrum. While some people dislike all forms of creativity, there are others who are a bit too obsessed with the concept of it, so much so that they are willing to bend the definition of the word to fit their own agenda. And that's what this video is mainly about. Circling back to what I said near the start, there is no set definition of the phrase visual creativity. Creativity itself is defined as the creation of something new. You can't define what this new should look like, and yet many try to. The production process of an anime involves a large number of artists, not just 2D animators. You have directors, designers, 3D animators, compositing artists, and more. And creativity can be expressed by any of these groups, more so now than ever before. Let's look at a few examples. Chainsaw Man is a perfect case study on creativity being expressed at the directorial level. Director Ryu Nakayama wanted to create a work that replicated live-action cinematography. He achieved this look by removing any cartoonish or exaggerated scenes, maintaining a strong degree of faithfulness to the designs, and asking for constant, lifelike character animation. Did this approach limit the 2D animation department in terms of creativity? Absolutely. But does that mean the show itself isn't creative? Absolutely not. Again, anime is a sum total of various components. It's not a one-man show, that one man being the 2D animation team. Whether you like Chainsaw Man's visual approach or not is entirely up to you, but referring to it as soulless/uncreative/whatever else people say is moronic at best and disrespectful at worst. What about Studio Ufotable? While Chainsaw Man was different from your typical let the 2D animators do whatever they want show, it did share a few traits with them. Ufotable shows, on the other hand, look completely different. The studio has a distinct style thanks to their consistent and organized workflow, and they let their photography department run wild. The 2D animators and their individual styles are often corrected to achieve a consistent look, and the compositing team adds a lot of stuff to the final product, occasionally overshadowing the work of these 2D animators. Is that a step too far? Absolutely not. Like I said, the 2D animators aren't the only people capable of expressing creativity. Ufotable has crafted a style that focuses on photography. It's a style they've spent over a decade perfecting, and the final product looks good. At least it does to most people, and that's all that matters. The photography team can indeed express their creativity. I'm sure a certain animator who worked on Heavenly Delusion would disagree, but said certain animator would be wrong. But then, why not have every team do their own thing? Why suppress one department for another? Well, I don't think that's possible for the most part. An overall vision is important. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 did come close. Not only did they allow the animators to do their own thing, they allowed the episode directors to pop off as well. Just look at the difference between episodes 13 and 16. One relied heavily on colored rim lighting and accents, while the other was predominantly shadowless. However, most shows can't afford to go that far. Some don't have enough talent on board, while others adapt source materials that require a more consistent approach. Also, more often than not, the visions of different departments are mutually exclusive. Ryu Nakayama's approach wouldn't have worked if the animators didn't maintain a sense of uniformity. That's just the way it is. Various shows prioritize various aspects based on a variety of factors, and that's fine. I would much rather live in a world where both Chainsaw Man and Mob Psycho exist and look the way they do, instead of one where Chainsaw Man looks like Mob, or vice versa. To rephrase that infamous joke, Chainsaw Man is what Chainsaw Man should have looked like, not referring to the way it adapted the source. Again, you're free to like or dislike a visual approach, but that's your opinion. I have my preferences. The character designs from the newly released Kaiju number 8, for example, I'm not a fan. I don't have a problem with the less lines more movement principle. I loved JJK Season 2, it's just a style, one of many, and every single one of these styles require an immense amount of effort, be it Mob Psycho or Chainsaw Man. Maintaining a cohesive look is just as difficult as creating an assortment of animation styles. In no universe is uniformity a bad thing. I would like to bring up this old tweet of mine. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, link is in the description. Who are you to define what is and isn't creative? Who are you to decide what is and isn't soulful? Your personal preference is just that. It's a preference. In an industry where nearly every project is dealt a bad hand, I appreciate all forms of creativity. Ufotable's Fate looks excellent, but so does Hakyugo's version, and at the same time, the version led by Shun Enokido and Takahito Sakazume looks phenomenal as well. You can prefer one approach over another. I prefer Ufotable. You can critique shows based on their visual quality. I do that all the time. But don't try to establish the approach you prefer as the objectively superior one. That's the main idea of this convoluted video. Anime is a form of art. You cannot boil it down to one look. And this applies to both sides of the creativity spectrum. Let's just appreciate creativity when we see it, as that's a rare thing these days. That's about it. Liked the video? Check out this other bit of content on screen. Like and subscribe, and until next time.